Ever walked into a place so creepy your skin crawls? Imagine dark hospitals, empty halls, and whispers from the past. In South Africa, old hospitals hide scary secrets, ghostly nurses, lost soldiers, and cries in the night. Why do people say these places are haunted? What really happened there? Grab your flashlight and don't look behind you. We're diving into the top 10 most terrifying haunted hospitals, where shadows move and the dead don't sleep. Ready to face the ghosts? Let's go. But don't say I didn't warn you. 1. Somerset Hospital, Cape Town. Somerset Hospital in Cape Town is one of the oldest hospitals in South Africa. It opened in 1859, more than 160 years ago. The building has tall, old walls and dark, quiet hallways. Many people believe it is haunted by ghosts from the past. The stories about this hospital are both scary and sad. One famous ghost story is about Sister Henrietta Stockdale. She was a nurse who worked here in the late 1800s. She was known for her kindness and for training nurses to be professional. She died in 1911, but some say her spirit never left. Nurses and visitors have reported seeing a woman in an old-fashioned nurse's uniform walking the halls. They say she appears near the old chapel, checking on patients who are no longer there. Some even hear soft whispers or feel a cold touch, as if she is still caring for the sick. Another ghost is said to be a soldier from the Anglo-Boer War, a long-ago war in South Africa. He was brought to the hospital with serious injuries but did not survive. People claim to see a man in a torn uniform wandering the corridors at night. He looks lost, as if searching for something. Others hear footsteps echoing in empty rooms or sudden cries of pain, even when no one is around. The hospital has areas that are no longer used. These abandoned rooms and old operating theaters add to the creepy feeling. Workers have reported strange noises, like doors slamming or equipment moving by itself. Some say they feel watched in certain spots, or the air turns icy cold for no reason. Even during the day, the empty parts of the building feel heavy with sadness. Despite the fear, many find the stories fascinating. Ghost hunters and curious visitors sometimes come to explore. They take photos, hoping to catch a ghostly figure or strange light. Others just listen to the tales, imagining the lives of those who once walked these halls. Somerset Hospital is still a working hospital today, but the old sections remain a mystery. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the history here is alive with stories of loss, love, and things that cannot be explained. It reminds us that some places hold memories, and maybe souls, long after they are gone. 2. Fort Napier Mental Hospital, Pietermaritzburg. Fort Napier Mental Hospital in Pietermaritzburg is a place filled with dark stories and ghostly rumors. Built in the late 1800s, this old hospital was used to treat people with mental illnesses. Back then, treatments were harsh and scary. Many patients suffered here, and some say their spirits never left. The hospital's old buildings, with broken windows and overgrown gardens, look like something from a horror movie. One of the most famous ghosts here is called the Crying Woman. People say she was a patient who lost her child long ago. Visitors and workers report hearing a woman sobbing late at night. The sound comes from empty rooms or dark corners. Some have seen a shadowy figure in old-fashioned clothes, wandering the halls as if searching for her baby. Others feel sudden sadness in certain areas, as if the woman's pain still lingers in the air. Another story is about a former doctor who worked here. He was known for cruel experiments on patients. After he died, strange things began happening. Lights flicker in rooms where he worked, and tools move on their own. People hear angry whispers or footsteps following them, even when no one is there. Some believe the doctor's ghost is still trying to control the hospital, punishing anyone who enters his old office. The hospital's abandoned wards are the creepiest places. Paint peels off the walls, and old beds sit rusted and broken. Visitors say they hear voices arguing or screaming in these empty rooms. Cold spots appear out of nowhere, making people shiver even on warm days. Some have seen faces staring from windows that are too high for anyone to reach. Even security guards avoid certain areas at night. They tell stories of doors slamming shut by themselves or shadowy figures running down corridors. One guard claimed he saw a group of ghostly patients sitting in a circle, rocking back and forth. before they vanished into thin air. Others say they feel hands grabbing them in the dark, but when they turn, no one is there. Today, parts of Fort Napier are still used, but the old sections are empty and decaying. Urban explorers and ghost hunters sometimes sneak in, hoping to see a ghost. They take photos, but many pictures show strange blurs or misty shapes. Others leave quickly, saying the air feels heavy, like something is pushing them out. Fort Napier's stories are a mix of sadness and fear. They remind us of a time when mental health care was not kind. Whether the ghosts are real or not, the hospital's history leaves a chill in the bones. It stands as a haunted reminder of the past, where pain and mystery still echo through its crumbling walls. 3. Addington Hospital, Durban. Addington Hospital in Durban is a place where history and ghost stories mix. Built in 1879, this old hospital has seen many patients over the years, including soldiers from World War I and II. Its tall white buildings and long, quiet halls give it a spooky feeling. Many people believe the hospital is haunted by spirits from the past, especially those who died here during wars or from illnesses. One famous ghost story is about the Grey Lady. She is said to be the spirit of a nurse who worked here long ago. Visitors and staff have seen a woman in a gray uniform walking the halls at night. She disappears when someone tries to approach her. Some say she appears near the old operating rooms or in the children's ward, as if still checking on patients. Others hear soft footsteps or the sound of a crying baby, even when the rooms are empty. Another ghost is linked to the hospital's wartime history. During World War II, many soldiers were treated here for serious injuries. Some did not survive. People claim to see soldiers in old military uniforms wandering the corridors. They look confused or lost, like they don't know the war is over. Lights flicker in empty rooms, and some hear faint voices talking or groaning in pain. A few have even smelled old medicine or blood, though no source can be found. The hospital's older sections, now closed, add to the fear. Dusty rooms with broken equipment and peeling paint feel frozen in time. Workers report strange noises, like doors slamming or chairs moving on their own. Cold spots appear suddenly, making people shiver. Some feel a heavy sadness in certain areas, as if the walls remember the suffering that happened there. Even during the day, shadows seem to move in the corners of your eyes. Security guards share creepy stories. One guard saw a bed roll down a hallway by itself, with no one pushing it. Another heard a loud scream in an empty ward, but found nothing when he checked. Some guards refuse to patrol alone at night, saying they feel watched or followed by unseen eyes. Visitors sometimes take photos and later notice strange shapes or faces in the background, even though no one was there. Addington Hospital is still used today, but the old parts remain a mystery. Ghost hunters and curious visitors sometimes explore, hoping to meet the Grey Lady or a soldier's ghost. Most leave with stories of strange feelings or unexplained sounds. Whether the ghosts are real or not, the hospital's past is filled with pain and loss. Its haunted reputation reminds us that some places hold memories, and maybe spirits, that refuse to fade away. The stories of Addington Hospital are a mix of sadness and mystery. They make us wonder about the lives of those who walked its halls long ago. For those who believe, the hospital is a bridge between the living and the dead. For others, it's a reminder of history's dark shadows. Either way, its eerie tales continue to chill anyone who dares to listen. 4. Gray's Hospital, Pietermaritzburg. Gray's Hospital in Pietermaritzburg is one of South Africa's oldest hospitals, with a history stretching back to 1854. Its grand old buildings and quiet gardens hide stories of ghostly sightings and unexplained events. Many believe the hospital is haunted by spirits of patients and staff who never left. The long empty hallways and old wards create a spooky atmosphere, especially at night. One famous ghost story is about a soldier from the Anglo-Boer War. He was treated here for terrible injuries but died in the hospital. Visitors and nurses have reported seeing a man in a torn, old-fashioned uniform wandering the halls. He looks pale and confused, as if he doesn't know he's dead. Some hear footsteps marching slowly, even when no one is around. Others say they feel a cold breeze pass by them, followed by a feeling of deep sadness. Another ghost is said to be a young nurse who worked here in the early 1900s. She loved her job, but died young from a sickness. people claim to see her in a white nurse's dress, holding a lantern, walking through the dark corridors. She disappears when someone tries to talk to her. Some staff members have heard soft humming or gentle whispers near the old patient rooms, as if she is still comforting the sick. The hospital's oldest sections, now unused, are the creepiest. Broken windows let in cold air, and dusty medical tools lie scattered in empty rooms. Workers have heard strange noises, like babies crying or doors creaking open, in areas no one has entered for years. Some feel sudden drops in temperature or see shadows moving on the walls. Even during the day, the air feels heavy, as if the past is pressing down on the present. Security guards share scary stories of their own. One guard saw a bed moving on its own in an abandoned ward. Another heard loud bangs coming from a locked storage room, but found nothing inside. Some guards refuse to patrol alone after dark, saying they feel someone following them or breathing down their necks. Visitors who explore the old parts sometimes take photos that show misty shapes or glowing orbs, with no explanation. Gray's Hospital is still active today, but the old buildings remind everyone of its haunted past. Ghost hunters sometimes visit, hoping to meet the soldier or the nurse. They use cameras and voice recorders to capture evidence. Many leave with strange recordings of whispers or ghostly figures in their photos. Others feel a sense of dread and hurry away, vowing never to return. The stories of Gray's Hospital are filled with mystery and sadness. They make us wonder about the lives and deaths of those who once walked its halls. Whether the ghosts are real or just legends, the hospital's eerie vibe is undeniable. It stands as a reminder of a time when medicine was harsh and death was common. For those who believe the spirits of Gray's Hospital are still healing, still searching, or still trapped in the place where they took their last breath. To this day, the hospital's history lingers like a ghost. Its creaking floors and silent rooms keep the secrets of the past alive, waiting for someone brave enough to listen. 5. Valkenberg Psychiatric Hospital, Cape Town. Valkenberg Psychiatric Hospital in Cape Town is a place wrapped in mystery and fear. Opened in 1891, it was one of the first hospitals in South Africa to treat mental illnesses. The old red brick buildings and tall iron gates give it a haunted look. Over the years, many patients lived and died here under harsh conditions. Today, people believe their restless spirits still wander the halls. One of the most famous ghosts is called the Man in the Hat. He is said to be a patient who wore a black hat and coat. Staff and visitors have seen him standing in empty corridors or staring out of windows. When approached, he vanishes into thin air. Others hear strange laughter or sobbing coming from rooms where no one is present. Some feel a cold hand touching their shoulder, but when they turn, there's nothing there. Another story is about a nurse who worked here in the 1950s. She was known for being strict and cruel to patients. After she died, people began reporting strange events. Lights flicker in her old office, and files fall off shelves by themselves. Some hear her high-heeled shoes clicking on the floors, even at night when the building is empty. A few have seen a shadowy figure in a nurse's uniform, watching them silently from dark corners. The hospital's old wards, now closed, are the creepiest spots. Rusty beds, broken chains, and old medical tools lie scattered in dusty rooms. Visitors say the air feels heavy, as if sadness and anger linger there. Workers report hearing voices arguing or screaming in these abandoned areas. Cold spots appear suddenly, making people shiver. Some claim to see faces pressed against dirty windows, or shadows moving behind locked doors. Security guards have their own scary tales. One guard saw a ghostly figure sitting on a bed, rocking back and forth. When he shined his flashlight, the figure disappeared. Another guard heard a loud bang in an empty room, only to find a chair thrown across the floor. Many guards refuse to patrol alone, saying they feel followed or hear whispers saying, "Get out." Even doctors and nurses today share odd experiences. Some patients claim to see invisible people talking to them. Others say they feel someone sitting on their bed at night. While most of these stories are brushed off as part of mental illness, a few staff members admit the hospital's energy feels unnatural. Valkenberg is still a working hospital, but its haunted history is hard to ignore. Urban explorers sometimes sneak in, hoping to meet the Man in the Hat or the ghostly nurse. Photos taken here often show blurry figures or strange lights. Others leave quickly, saying the building's silence feels alive with unseen eyes watching. The stories of Valkenberg remind us of a time when mental health treatment was scary and misunderstood. Whether the ghosts are real or not, the hospital's past is filled with pain. Its crumbling walls and empty rooms keep those memories alive, whispering tales of fear, loneliness, and mysteries that may never be solved. For those brave enough to listen, Valkenberg's ghosts still have stories to tell. 6 Johannesburg General Hospital, now Charlotte Maxeke. Johannesburg General Hospital, now known as Charlotte Maxeke Hospital, is one of South Africa's largest and oldest hospitals. Built in the early 1900s, its long history is filled with both medical breakthroughs and eerie ghost stories. The hospital's tall, aging buildings and maze-like corridors are said to hide spirits of the past. Many believe the souls of patients who died here still wander the halls, unable to move on. One famous ghost story involves a nurse known as Sister Mary. She worked here in the 1940s and was loved for her kindness. After she died, staff and patients began seeing a woman in an old-style nurse's uniform. She appears in the maternity ward or near the old operating rooms. Some hear her humming lullabies or feel a gentle touch on their shoulder. Others say medical equipment moves by itself when she is near, as if she is still helping patients. Another ghost is linked to the hospital's emergency ward. During the apartheid era, many victims of violence were treated here. People claim to see shadowy figures sitting on benches, waiting silently. Others hear screams or cries in empty rooms, especially at night. Some nurses report feeling a cold hand grab theirs, only to turn and find no one there. A few have even seen bloodstains appear on floors, then vanish moments later. The hospital's abandoned sections add to the fear. Old wards with broken windows and dusty beds feel frozen in time. Workers say they hear footsteps echoing behind them, or doors slamming shut without explanation. Lights flicker in empty hallways, and some smell strong antiseptic or old medicine, even when no supplies are nearby. Visitors describe a heavy, sad feeling in these areas, as if the walls remember the pain of the past. Security guards share chilling tales. One guard saw a ghostly child running down a corridor, laughing, before disappearing into a wall. Another heard a voice whispering, "Help me," in a locked storage room. Many guards avoid certain floors after dark, saying they feel watched or hear strange noises like rattling chains or distant sobbing. Even during the day, some areas feel unnaturally cold, as if the air itself is haunted. Today, Charlotte Maxeke Hospital remains busy, but the old stories linger. Ghost hunters sometimes visit, hoping to catch evidence of Sister Mary or other spirits. Photos taken here often show strange shadows or misty shapes. Others report sudden battery drains in cameras or phones, as if something is draining their energy. Staff members joke about the ghosts, but admit some nights feel alive with unexplained activity. The hospital's haunted reputation is tied to its long, complicated history. From treating war injuries to political violence, it has seen much suffering. Whether the ghosts are real or just memories, the stories remind us of the lives lost within these walls. For some, the hospital is a place of healing. For others, it's a haunted maze where the past never sleeps. The tales of Charlotte Maxeke Hospital blend sadness and mystery. They make us wonder about the people who walked these halls, patients, nurses, and those who never left. Believers say the spirits are a part of the hospital's soul. Skeptics call it imagination. But one thing is certain: its eerie stories continue to send chills down the spines of all who hear them. 7 Port Elizabeth Mental Hospital, now Elizabeth Donkin. Port Elizabeth Mental Hospital, now called Elizabeth Donkin Hospital, is a place where darkness and ghostly tales linger. Built in the late 1800s in Gqeberha, formerly Port Elizabeth, this hospital treated people with mental illnesses for over a century. Its old, crumbling buildings and empty halls are said to hold the spirits of patients who suffered here long ago. Many believe their pain and anger still haunt the hospital, creating eerie experiences for those who enter. One famous ghost story is about a patient known as the Singer. He was a man who loved music, but was locked away for being different. Visitors and workers claim to hear soft singing late at night, even in empty rooms. The voice sounds sad, like a lonely lullaby. Some have seen a shadowy figure sitting on a broken piano bench. moving his hands as if playing. Others say the singing stops suddenly, replaced by loud, angry screams that echo through the halls. Another spirit is linked to the hospital's dark past. In the early days, treatments for mental illness were cruel. Patients were tied to beds or left in cold, dark rooms. People say the ghost of a nurse from that time still walks the halls. She wears a stiff white uniform and carries a lantern. Visitors report seeing her light flicker in dark corners, but when they get closer, she disappears. Some hear her whispering harsh words like, "Be quiet" or "Stay still," as if she's still controlling patients. The abandoned sections of the hospital are the scariest. Paint peels off the walls, and old chains hang from the ceilings. Workers say they hear doors slamming or furniture dragging across floors upstairs, areas no one uses anymore. Cold spots appear out of nowhere, making people shiver even on hot days. Some smell old medicine or rotting wood, though the rooms are empty. A few brave explorers have taken photos showing shadowy faces in windows or misty shapes blocking doorways. Security guards share terrifying stories. One guard saw a bed rolling down a hallway by itself, crashing into a wall. Another heard children laughing in a locked ward, but found nothing when he checked. Many guards refuse to patrol alone at night. They say they feel hands pushing them or hear footsteps running behind them. One guard even claimed he saw a group of ghostly patients standing in a circle, staring at him silently before fading away. Today, parts of the hospital are still used, but the old buildings remain empty and decaying. Urban explorers and ghost hunters sometimes sneak in, hoping to meet the singer or the strict nurse. Some leave quickly, saying the air feels heavy and suffocating. Others capture strange sounds on recordings, like crying or whispered conversations, with no one around. Photos often show glowing orbs or blurred figures in the background. Elizabeth Donkin Hospital's stories remind us of a time when mental health care was scary and unfair. The ghosts, real or not, represent the suffering of those forgotten by history. The creaking floors, cold drafts, and distant cries keep their memories alive. For some, the hospital is a place of sadness. For others, it's a mystery waiting to be solved. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the hospital's eerie vibe is hard to ignore. It stands as a haunted reminder of the past, where pain and fear seem trapped within its walls. The stories of Elizabeth Donkin Hospital whisper a warning. Some places never let go of their secrets, or their ghosts. 8. Baragwanath Hospital, Soweto. Baragwanath Hospital in Soweto, Johannesburg, is one of the biggest hospitals in the world. Built during World War II, it has treated millions of patients over the years. But behind its busy halls and modern wards, many believe the hospital hides ghostly secrets. Stories of strange noises, shadowy figures, and unexplained events have made it famous for more than just medicine. One common ghost story is about a nurse who worked here in the 1970s. She was known for her dedication, but died suddenly in a hospital accident. Staff and patients claim to see her spirit in the older parts of the hospital. She wears a white uniform and carries a clipboard, walking quickly as if she's still on duty. Some hear her voice softly saying, "I'm here to help," before she vanishes. Others say medical tools go missing and reappear in strange places, as if she's still organizing her supplies. Another tale involves soldiers from World War II. The hospital was originally a military base, and some soldiers died here from their injuries. People report seeing men in old army uniforms wandering the corridors at night. They look lost or confused, like they don't know the war ended long ago. Some hear marching footsteps or distant shouts in empty areas. A few have even smelled smoke or gunpowder, though there's no fire nearby. The hospital's abandoned sections are the creepiest. These old wards have broken windows, dusty beds, and flickering lights. Workers say they hear crying or moaning in these empty rooms, even during the day. Cold spots appear suddenly, making people shiver. Some feel like they're being watched, or see shadows moving just out of sight. One cleaner claims she saw a bed shaking violently on its own, with no one touching it. Security guards share scary experiences too. One guard saw a ghostly child running down a hallway, laughing, before disappearing into a wall. Another heard a loud bang in an empty storage room, only to find shelves knocked over. Many guards refuse to patrol alone at night, saying they feel hands grabbing their arms or hear whispers saying, "Go away." Some even report seeing glowing red eyes in dark corners, staring at them silently. Baragwanath is still a busy hospital today, but the old stories never fade. Nurses working night shifts sometimes joke about the helpers, ghosts who turn on lights or bring blankets to patients. But not all stories are friendly. Some patients wake up screaming, saying a dark figure stood by their bed. Others hear voices arguing in empty rooms or see faces in the windows of locked offices. Ghost hunters and curious visitors sometimes come to explore. They take photos, hoping to catch a ghostly nurse or soldier. Some pictures show strange misty shapes or shadowy figures in the background. Others record eerie sounds, like footsteps or faint crying, but many leave quickly, saying the hospital's energy feels heavy and sad, as if the walls remember too much pain. The stories of Baragwanath Hospital mix history and mystery. They remind us of the many lives that passed through its doors, some healed, some lost. Whether the ghosts are real or just legends, the hospital's eerie vibe is hard to ignore. For those who believe, the spirits of soldiers, nurses, and patients still linger, trapped in the place where they took their last breath. For others, it's a reminder that even in a place of healing, the past can haunt the present. No matter what you believe, Baragwanath's tales send chills down the spine. Its creaking corridors and silent nights keep the stories alive, waiting for the next person to listen and wonder. 9 Riet Fontaine Hospital, Johannesburg. Riet Fontaine Hospital in Johannesburg is a place forgotten by time, but remembered by ghosts. Opened in the 1900s, it was first a quarantine zone for people with dangerous diseases like tuberculosis. Later, it became a mental hospital. The old buildings, now crumbling and covered in vines, hide stories of pain and fear. Many believe the spirits of patients who died here still haunt the empty halls, trapped in their suffering. One famous ghost is called the Coughing Man. He was a tuberculosis patient in the 1940s. People say you can hear him coughing loudly in empty rooms, even though no one is there. Some have seen a thin, pale figure in old pajamas, leaning against walls or sitting on broken beds. He disappears when someone gets too close. Others smell a strong, sickly medicine odor, like the kind used long ago before it fades away. Another story is about a nurse from the mental hospital era. She was strict and feared by patients. After she died, strange things began happening. Lights flicker in her old office and files fly off shelves. Workers hear her shouting, "Stay in your room," in empty corridors. Some have seen a shadowy woman in a stiff white uniform, holding a baton, walking quickly as if she's still punishing patients. The abandoned wards are the scariest part. Broken windows let in cold wind, and rusty beds sit crookedly on dirty floors. Visitors report hearing voices arguing or crying behind locked doors. Some feel sudden chills or see their breath in the air, even on warm days. Others say doors slam shut by themselves, or they hear footsteps running toward them. But no one is there. Security guards share creepy tales. One guard saw a ghostly child playing with a ball in a dark hallway. When he called out, the child vanished, and the ball rolled into a wall. Another guard heard a loud bang in an old treatment room. He found a heavy chair thrown across the floor, but the room was empty. Many guards refuse to work night shifts alone, saying they feel someone breathing down their neck or hear whispers saying, "Help me." Even the overgrown gardens outside feel haunted. People report seeing figures sitting under trees or walking slowly between the bushes. Some hear soft singing or sobbing coming from the old cemetery nearby, where many patients were buried without names. A few explorers have taken photos showing glowing eyes in the dark or misty shapes hiding in the trees. Riet Fontaine Hospital closed years ago, but its ghosts remain. Urban explorers sneak in, hoping to meet the coughing man or the strict nurse. Some leave quickly, saying the air feels thick with sadness. Others capture strange sounds on recordings, like coughing, screams, or someone begging for water. Photos often show shadowy figures in windows or blurred faces in the background. The hospital's stories remind us of a time when sick people were isolated and treated harshly. The ghosts, real or not, represent the loneliness and pain of those forgotten by society. Crumbling walls and cracked floors hold their memories, whispering tales of fear and despair. Today, Riet Fontaine stands as a broken monument to the past. Its empty halls echo with the sounds of suffering, and its gardens hide unmarked graves. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the hospital's eerie silence speaks volumes. It is a place where history's wounds never healed, and where the dead may still walk, waiting for someone to hear their stories. For those brave enough to visit, Riet Fontaine offers a chilling glimpse into a forgotten world. Its ghosts, whether memories or spirits, keep the past alive in the rust, dust, and shadows of a place time tried to erase. 10. Kimberly Mental Hospital, West End Hospital. Kimberly Mental Hospital, now known as West End Hospital, is a place filled with ghostly whispers and dark memories. Built in the late 1800s in the Northern Cape, this hospital once treated people with mental illnesses. Back then, treatments were harsh, and patients suffered greatly. Today, the old buildings stand half abandoned, their cracked walls and empty rooms said to be haunted by souls who never found peace. One famous ghost story is about a patient called the Walker. He was a man who paced the halls day and night, talking to himself. After he died, staff and visitors still hear footsteps pacing the corridors. Some see a shadowy figure walking in circles, his head down, muttering words no one can understand. When people call out to him, he disappears. Others feel a cold breeze rush past them, as if the Walker is still trying to escape his endless journey. Another spirit is linked to the hospital's old treatment rooms. Patients were once given painful therapies here, like electric shocks or ice baths. People claim to hear screams coming from these rooms, even though they've been locked for years. Some smell burning flesh or medicine, though nothing is there. A few have seen ghostly hands gripping the sides of old bathtubs, as if someone is struggling to get out. The abandoned wards are the creepiest part. Broken furniture, rusty chains, and dusty medical tools lie scattered in the dark. Visitors say the air feels heavy, like sadness is trapped in the walls. Workers report hearing doors slam shut or faint crying in empty hallways. Some see shadows moving behind broken windows, or feel sudden chills that make their breath visible. Even during the day, the silence feels alive with unseen whispers. Security guards have their own scary tales. One guard saw a ghostly woman in a white gown standing at the end of a hallway. When he blinked, she was gone. Another heard a child's laughter in an empty playground outside, but found no one there. Many guards refuse to patrol alone at night. They say they feel hands pushing them or hear voices begging, "Let me out." The hospital's cemetery adds to the fear. Many patients were buried here without names, their graves marked only by numbers. People report seeing figures kneeling by the stones or hearing soft sobbing at night. Some say the ground feels unstable, as if the dead are restless below. Explorers have taken photos showing misty shapes hovering over the graves, or glowing eyes in the dark. Today, parts of West End Hospital are still used, but the old sections remain empty and decaying. Ghost hunters sometimes visit, hoping to meet the Walker or hear the phantom screams. They take photos, but many show blurry figures or strange lights. Others record eerie sounds, like footsteps, whispers, or distant screams, with no explanation. The stories of Kimberly Mental Hospital remind us of a time when mental health care was cruel and misunderstood. The ghosts, real or not, represent the pain of those forgotten by history. Cracked walls and silent rooms hold their memories, telling tales of fear and loneliness. For those brave enough to explore, the hospital offers a chilling glimpse into the past. Its empty halls and overgrown gardens keep the secrets of those who suffered here. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the heavy air and unexplained sounds make one thing clear. Some places never let go of their past. Kimberly's ghosts still wander, waiting for someone to listen to their stories, or to join them in the shadows.